never know.
You never knew.
You've always been kind of, and I've admired it, and I mirror it. I mirror it in a lot of ways. It's fucking part of why I'm leaving. You know, it's an interesting time to be around this shit, and like I've seen a lot of it up close and personal. I think even more personal than you because you've distanced yourself from it. But you made a cool point about it's about the process.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's where all the importance lies for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the end result is what it is.
I was actually just talking to someone about this, and I think it's interesting because like all the moments in my career where I felt like they should be a high point, whether it's a premiere or like going on Jimmy Kimmel or like all those moments, getting home from like the Critics' Choice Awards where I got nominated, like all those moments that you have an expectation of feeling like I've reached the next level are always disappointing in the moment. You never feel
Mm-hmm.
like fulfilled in those moments
Mm-hmm.
because there's an expectation. It's like partying on New Year's. Like it's never going to be that good because it's supposed to be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
The best moments in what I do and what you do come from when you're working on something and you finally put the finishing touches. Or maybe it's just a moment that you like perfect in the edit or in the song where all of a sudden it flows and you're just like, yes. And it's that serotonin rush where you're like, this is why I love doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of what you're making, not
Mm-hmm.
because of the recognition.
And
So people always are like, how do you feel? Like you just had this premiere, like, don't you feel amazing? And you're like,
I love this.
no, I feel depressed.
I actually
honestly.
feel sad. Just feel a little sad and empty inside.
Sad right now. Like after I went on Kimmel, my mom was like, you did Kimmel? And I was like, Mom, I'm so mad right now.
Yeah.
She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. It's just like, this is,
I've talked
just
about
do it. You get back in the car, you go home. Like,
yeah, really well put. I've talked about this a ton in less articulate ways probably, but or in less simple way of saying that. But it really is that, man. It really is that. There's a little bit of a rattling perspective to it when you get to a place that even if it wasn't your end goal or wasn't even your drive, when you get to these like landmark benchmark places like a Kimmel or a premiere or something that you made out of your fucking head, out of thin air, and it turns into, and then there's that expectation you talk about. But when you experience that, you said sadness, or dude, that's like something I really went through. Like the realization that the shallowness of some of the things that I was like striving for, even though it was never my main thing. Like fame has never been my main thing ever, or the attention. But when you experience that, it unlocks a whole other level of wisdom. It does. Because until you do, Jim Carrey said, I hope everyone gets rich and famous so they realize that's not about being rich and famous. And until you get there genuinely, where you cross that bucket list of, hey, I'm now financially stable, I'm now, whatever it may be, you have that like kind of not the ultimate success, but in that realm. And you realize it's fucking rattling, man. Because you realize that like, wait, what are my value? What are,
You realize it's just a perception thing, and it has nothing to do with how you feel. You don't feel fulfilled. Maybe people see you differently. Maybe the way people think of you is differently now that you've been in this situation. But you as a person don't feel any more fulfilled in those moments.
You ready?